But the big news that's breaking tomorrow, exclusive, gong next week. David finally gets a knighthood and Posh to be lady. Yes, arise, Sir Becks. David Beckham is finally to be awarded with a knighthood. The Sun can reveal the football legend 50 will become a Sir in the King's birthday honours. List next week is Spice Girl wife, will be also known as Lady Beckham. Ex-England and Manchester United star Becks has longed, it says here, for a knighthood for years. He has struck a bond with King Charles and is an ambassador for his King's Foundation. So that is the news that you guys will be waking up to tomorrow morning. It's an exclusive in the Sun. Gong next week, David Beckham to be made a Sir, and it will be Lady Beckham for Posh. Thoughts on that, please,
About
Daz?
time, in my opinion. I think he deserves it. I think he's one of England's all-time best players, in my opinion. Went to Real Madrid when they were the Galacticos, and more than held his own, one of their better players. And not only that, I'm just talking about what he done on the pitch. I think he's been tremendous. What he does charity-wise as well.
There's more to him than just winning football, right?
So much more to him. And I think he knew that mid or early on in his career, there's going to be more to him. Brand Beckham, as it were. I think it's about time. I'm glad. I think he deserves it. You look at Gareth Southgate, for instance. I know he done a great job with England, and that's questionable in some people's minds. But if he gets one, David Beckham thoroughly deserves it. I don't know what your thoughts on that are.
Do you know what? There's a lot to like about Becks, because he's transcended football, isn't he? He's more than just the Manchester United England footballer, Real Madrid footballer, England captain, so on and so forth. He has stayed on our front pages, mid pages, because of his relationship, marriage to Posh. I mean, it's one of the... I'm trying to think of a bigger couple in terms of showbiz. I don't think there is one.
No,
certainly, they are the generational showbiz couple, aren't they?
Yeah.
OK, Hello Magazine, all of that shizzle. They dominate back pages all over the front page. Year upon year. But I think it's also his charity work that he has done. And also what he did to ensure that the Olympics were in the UK as well. That was a big part. I think he had a huge part in trying to get the World Cup over here. It didn't happen for him. But I don't know whether anyone saw the documentary about Beckham. Did you see that?
I didn't see it, no.
And honestly, he came across, and so did she, to be honest. I mean, we always have these preconceived ideas about people because of what we see, what we read, and we only read and see because that's what we're shown.
Yeah.
You know, there are other parts to people's lives. Yeah. No one knows me, no one knows you, but they hear us on radio. They think us, no one knows us. Yeah. Until you actually... But I have to say, that documentary really opened my eyes. And he's a family man. You know, there's a lot to like about...
He's a superstar. He's a super football player, but he's a superstar.
Yes.
One of the most famous people on the planet, in my opinion. But like you said, now I remember being England under-21s at Lillishall, and we was there. The England team were there. Beckham was there, but he had so much security around him compared to the other players that it was more of a wow. When he walked in the door, it was like, wow, that's David Beckham. Everyone else was like, oh, Paul's goals, Frank Lampard. But when David Beckham walked in, there was a real aura about him. And as he was walking past, we was in the dinner hall. He was like, he stopped his security and he come and he shook every one of our hands, said hello, said like what we doing, and obviously knew about a lot of us because we were playing in the first teams at the time. But I just thought, I know he's England captain at the time, but he didn't need to do that. And I just felt that was the mark of who he is as a person, as opposed to this superstar, this aura around him. But there's some iconic moments in there, and what he's come back from, the adversity when he got sent off against Argentina, and all the stuff around that in terms of the stick and abuse that he got, and how he's come back to win the fans over, the supporters over.
Has he won everyone over? There'll be people listening to this now that he will divide opinion.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's impossible not to when you are in the public eye.
The majority will say he deserves it, though.
I think most people will feel that there's enough about his life and what he has done, not just on the pitch. I think off the pitch is something that needs to be credited. Maybe not enough people know about what he does, his charity work.
He's had issues publicly as well, but that's because of such a global superstar that he is. That he's had issues on the pitch and off the pitch, but he's certainly played his part in the change of football, and I think he was the catalyst of footballers doing charity work as well. I think he was the main person that started all that.
Is there going to be another David Beckham round the corner? Is that possible? Do you think, or is it the fact that listen, we've got plenty of other young superstars, but listen, the looks, playing for Man United, then go to Real Madrid, England captain. He ticked a lot of those little special boxes, didn't he?
He did. I think the closest you'd get, probably at the moment, would be Jude Bellingham in terms of. Jude Bellingham is a global superstar now. I know he hasn't played in England yet, but he's now playing for Real Madrid and probably will for a long time. Mm-hmm. England superstar as well, potentially a future captain. I think the closest you have is probably Jude Bellingham, but I don't think there'll ever be someone, because he was the first. He was the first to do it, and he had that relationship with Victoria as well. So
he was a rock and roll footballer, wasn't he? But he lived the life of a footballer. I'm delighted to say, joining us on the line now is his number one fan. We've managed to track him down. It's the one and only Drive Time presenter, Mr. Andy Goldstein, joins us now. Stinks. Good evening, sir.
Wow. I've just opened the champagne. How are you, boys?
I'm good, bud. How are you?
That champagne was waiting for this moment, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I am drinking champagne, but I didn't even know that Beckham got the night. That's what I usually do on a Thursday night.
It's just your lifestyle. Listen, the news has broke, bud. It's on the front page of the Sun. David finally gets his knighthood. Posh to be a lady. It's something that's been spoken about for quite some time. Deserved, I'm guessing, in your opinion?
Yes. Listen, I love Becks, right? I think not just for what he's done for football, but just what he's done for just young people growing up, just football fans, fashion fans. He's just an icon, right? He's just such a. When he was a Man United player, he was one of my favourite players, and then of course he sort of started going out with Posh, and then they got married, and then his haircuts, his fashion, just everything about Becks. Then he got tattoos. The majority of people today with a tattoo have got a tattoo because Becks got it. And he's just a trendsetter. He's just a proper global superstar. The brand, the Beckham brand, him, his family now, just everything about Becks is he's proper mega. And I'm genuinely, I am absolutely delighted for him, because it's been a long time coming. I think he deserves it, from his days at playing at Ridgeway Rovers to, being a United superstar and PSG and Milan and Real Madrid and the Galaxy, just everything about Beck. I'm delighted he's got it, and it couldn't have come at a better time, because he was 50 last month, so it's a perfect birthday present.
And Jace just asked me if there'll ever be another David Beckham, and I don't think there will be. I think Jude Bellingham's the closest we've probably got at the moment, but do you think there ever will be?
When you say another David Beckham, are you talking about just footballing ability, or just
everything you mentioned in terms of what David Beckham brought to football?
Right? Probably not, because he was. Personally, growing up in England in the 90s, it was just like Cool Britannia, right? You had all the great music. I think you had Britain was just in a fantastic place. The music was fantastic. Football was incredible. The Premier League had just started. And so there wasn't really a David Beckham. I know this sounds a bit nuts, but there wasn't a David Beckham before David Beckham. He made the transition between being a footballer and when I was a kid growing up, footballers, they were drinkers, they were smokers. Like we all remember George Best, but there was no one really that connected the two, from rock and roll superstar and footballing superstar. And Becks was definitely the first person to do that. And so not only was he a fantastic footballer, he captained England. I personally think he was the greatest dead ball specialist, the greatest crossover ball we've ever seen in this country. And for what he did, for being the first, only one person can be the first, and it's definitely Becks.
But there
might be another player that does what he's done on the pitch, but I don't think there'll be another player that breaks the barriers like he's done.
No, but there's also there's a lot of good fortune as well. If you look like Quasimodo, right? No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. If he looked like Quasimodo, I'm using that as an example. If he looked like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, but still a brilliant footballer, right? Yeah. And he married, I don't know, Plain Jane down the road.
No. Give me a name. Not Plain Jane. Come on. Plain
Jane the Super Brain. I'm talking about Out of Neighbours here. she was quite nice. But if he married like one of those, your girl next door, but he had the looks. He played for Man United, and
every haircut.
He's married He's married a pop star. There's a lot. There's a lot there. You go.
Play for Man United.
Play for Man United. But I'm just saying, if he looked like you, Goldstein, he wouldn't have got it. That's what I'm saying.
Jay, if he looked like you, he wouldn't have got anything, right? So was there a question now? Or I'm just saying. There's a lot. He's got a lot going for him, has he? On the periphery, not just the football, but he's got the looks. He's got the superstar. Did that help?
He's saying. Did that help him?
He's got the superstar wife as well, hasn't he?
He's world class, right? He was world class.
A lot of people compare my broadcasting skills to his footballing skills, and that's their opinion. They're entitled to that.
I don't think they have, mate. I don't know if they have, Stinks. I don't know if they have, mate.
It's not. Am I just a genius broadcaster? But I've got the looks as well. And you could say I'm like the Beckham of talkSPORT. I don't say that. But some people,
I don't think anyone says that, mate.
I think you. I
think you're the Gary Neville.
Yeah, I think you're the Phil Neville.
No, but you're the first we thought of. As soon as he gets it, it's like, who can we speak to? Get Goldstein.
Have you texted him yet?
Listen. I absolutely adore Becks. Right, I've met him maybe 4 times, 5 times, and every time I meet him, I'm in awe because he just looks I tell you what, he doesn't just look like a superstar footballer. He looks like a Hollywood superstar. Right? He looks fantastic, and I do love him. He's a United boy, right? And he's a cast 92, and he was part of so many magical moments for Man United. And I'm genuinely delighted for him. I am also genuinely drinking champagne tonight, but that has nothing to do with the fact that he's got it. But it's been a long time coming, right? We've all talked about Sir David Beckham.
Yep. It's not a surprise, actually. Do you know, when you read it, it's not
a surprise it's been this long, to be honest, in my opinion. He was a Hollywood superstar, wasn't he? Bend it like Beckham.
I'm hearing, I don't know how true it is, that already Lego are bringing out a special edition.
I've got it.
Lego version.
I've got it already.
You've got it already.
Yeah.
You've got it already.
And
I was embargoed on that, though.
And he's good friends. It says here, Stinks, that he's long for a night every year. But he struck up.
Where did it say that, Jay? Where are you getting your info from?
Oh, sorry, I misread it. Hold on. No, just King Charles, it says it.
Oh, right, fine. Yeah.
Stinks, listen, appreciate you joining us, bud. Enjoy that champagne.
Before you go, I understand that Drive Time is, without doubt, the most successful show on talkSPORT now. Yeah. I understand that because Ryan Bryan is your new producer, that you've stolen a feature that we do the best of talkSPORT. You now apparently do the rest of talkSPORT.
Well,
that's right.
Do you know what? That's been going for quite some time. That was done by Shawnee. Shawnee, the producer.
I didn't like it.
Blame H&J.
I was listening to Drive. They didn't like it. Didn't even plug us. Didn't even plug us being on because of it.
Well,
that was Benty as well. Didn't even plug his mate.
No.
Can I just tell you that if it was my way, I wouldn't plug your show. No. But it was in Drive Time earlier. I just hope that talkSPORT Drive get as big a plug weekdays 4 till 7, 10, 8, 9, 10, 53 medium-wave of IDB speaker.
Stinks. Guess what we're doing next?
What would it be? Would it be take more calls?
No,
would it be that?
No googling.
No, hold on. I've always asked Jeeves it.
And by the way, you didn't even give the answer out earlier. I'm just going to throw that one out there.
To which one?
To the last one. Which English player won the Prem twice? I've been waiting all day to ask you this as well.
Beckham. The answer is Beckham.
Goldstein, love you.
Jay, can I ask a quick question? Go on. The rash you were talking about earlier on, is it gone now?
Yeah, no, the cream you gave me's work, mate. You're absolutely right. It does clear it up.
His hair's looking good as well, by the way, at the minute.
The rash is gone.
Listen, because that cream works, you can only thank Darren Ambrose. It was him that told me it worked.
Love you. See you tomorrow.
God bless you. See you later, boys.
Bye, bye. There he is, Andy Goldstein. Drive Time's Andy Goldstein. At 4 o'clock.
He just stole the show. He's just stole the show, hasn't he?
Beck's #1 fan, by the way. Drive, you can listen to Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent every single weekday, 4 till 7. It's a brilliant show. Make sure you tune into that. We're going to take your calls on that. What do you make of it? Sir David Beckham, yes, and Lady Beckham. Posh is going to be a lady. 03717 223344. You are listening to the Sports Boys. Darren Ambrose. I'm Jason. This is talkSPORT.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.